So we're back at GDC. This time we've got Faenoraverse, and we're going to be taking a look at the game, talking us through a bit of a playthrough, and then maybe at the end we will play it myself. Today we are joined by
Nathan Montgomery. I'm the CEO of 2TG Entertainment and the creative director behind Wildlands of Faenora.
And if you haven't watched it yet, we do have a full interview, so you can get to know more about the project and about our guest.
So this is leading us into the hunt mode, and this is actually the first proper walkthrough of the hunt mode that we're showing off anywhere. So the town that you saw before was the town of Donegal, and this is a mercenary town, and when you get started, you need to get your mercenaries. So these are your NFT characters in our invite-only hunt mode tournament. We're giving people 75,000 Muchi tokens to get started with, and that's where they're going to roll their mercenaries that are going to be the NFT characters when we do the Web3 implementation and the full Web3 launch of it. And so right now, what you get is you're going to start off with your NFT, and then you need to actually reveal what your character is going to be. And as you play the game, your NFT is going to update based on your character, how you customize them, how they level up. And that's actually going to change the image on the NFT itself.
And when we have the character screen up, and we're going through a couple of the roles right now, is there random stats, or is there kind of like a base stats that I'm going to get? Do I have to be lucky? How's that working out for us?
Yeah, so it's random based on the rarity of the character. So rarity impacts their stat bonuses. So the more rare they have, higher stat bonuses. So legendary has 15% on all stats. And then there's also the innate skill that comes in. So that's going to be different depending on which character you roll, and then also the class. So in these, we're just getting archers and squires that are the base classes for now. You would have a chance to roll a knight or a martial artist or a cleric or a witch, but we're just getting archers and squires that are kind of your common base class to get started.
And then we've got a grid over on the side here, and it looks like we're sticking them in various places. Is there a strategy behind what's going on in that grid?
Yeah, so within the grid, it's basically going to determine how vulnerable the characters are. So if you are at the front or you don't have anyone in front of you, then you can get attacked by melee attacks when you're going off to fight. And if you're in the back, then you're protected from those, but you're vulnerable to range attacks. And also your archers and more ranged units get more actions in battle when they're placed at the back, and your melee fighters get more actions when you're placed in the front. And then here you get to go into the tailor shop that allows you to customize and change the look of your characters. So we have a bunch of different hairstyles and hair colors and all these different things that you can change up to make each character your own. And we're adding more and more customization options as we continue to develop too.
And you said that these characters are NFTs. Does my customization go with it when someone takes it? And then can they re-customize it, or does it stick to the NFT?
Both. So that it sticks to the NFT. So if you sell it to someone, then you might have a limited edition cosmetic that you've put on it. So you can sell it along with that and they would get it. But if they decide, well, they got their own limited edition that they like instead, or for some reason they want to change up the cosmetics, they can do that too. Okay. And then they would just, lose what you gave them and have whatever they have.
Okay.
Yeah. So, there's different face options, eye color, skin color, different gear type things. And we're working with a number of communities in a really cool way where we're looking at how we can partner with, everyone likes to see themselves in the game, right? So we have some really, really cool, exciting things of how we can collab with different communities and bring some of what they have into the Faenoraverse.
And is all of this cosmetic, or are some of those rare bits affect stats as well? Or
at this stage with these pieces, it's all cosmetics. And then the bigger changes really come into play when you're getting different types of equipment and different classes as you continue to play. And then the leaderboard is in the middle, so that's an important one. especially for the hunt mode, which is it's a tournament. So you're competing against everyone else to get the most nether talons by beating the most bosses. Now, when you start a hunt, you're going to have different options. You could do an experience boost, or in this case, we did a treasure to get a little bit of equipment before we got going. And then it gets you right into the hunt mode. And so within this space, you can equip everything that you have, make sure that you're ready for the battles ahead. You can rearrange your squad if you realized, oh, I don't like how I did it before. And then you want to make sure that any potions you bring in your item bag, that's going to allow you to use it in battle. And then with the wand, doesn't look like we have anyone who can equip that. So we have our squires and archers. And then, you can position it based on, you get different numbers of attacks. If you put the archer in the top, they're only going to get one attack where the others would get two. So you want to make sure that you're positioning it properly and planning a strategy that way.
And then when we were picking the perks at this front, that cost some of the currency. Is that why one of them was none? Because if I don't have any currency, I can choose just to go in without any perks.
Yeah, that's right. And then you're just, all of this is made to be a really strong closed economy. So there's a lot of different options of, perks that give you a boost, but if you'd rather just grind it out, then you can do that and not pay the Moochie tokens and just try to get as far as you can. You'll notice at the top left, we have a turn order there. So that's something that a lot of people asked for with our alpha demo. So we went through a couple iterations to figure out the best way to reflect that. And then, it's your classic pixel art turn-based battle system.
And is the person playing here, or is it auto battling?
So for this piece, it's auto battle, but you have, I call it like a semi-auto battle mode, and then you can also swap to a fully manual mode. And so with the semi-auto battle, you can always interrupt. So you can click on the characters to say, hey, instead of just attacking the enemy that you were going to attack, we want to use a skill, or we want to use some items or something like that. So you have complete control, but in that auto battle mode, it does move at a quicker pace, which is good, especially if it's a less critical battle. You find when you get into some big, dragon fights and stuff like that, that it's going to be pretty tricky to get through it just with auto battle, because if your people are dying, you're going to want to stop and slow things down and use some items. So this is where you click on the character and you can choose skills, you can choose items, choose specifically who you're going to attack. And I know with sound design, we can't hear it here, but we're super excited about one of the composers from the Horizon series has joined us for sound design and music work. So super excited about that.
And we were just on the map screen then. Is it a linear map, or am I making a choice about where I'm going?
It's linear in the sense that you're always going towards the same destination. And here's an escape portal that we can talk about too, because that's important. But so the map is linear in that you're always moving towards a boss fight at round 10, then round 20, round 30. But what you're choosing is the path that you take to get there. So you might focus on fighting monsters to level up your heroes, or you might focus on, let's see, in the middle here, there's a dragon fight. If you're tough enough, then you're going to choose that because you're going to get more experience. You're going to get better loot. But if you're not tough enough, then you're likely going to die. And if you don't have an escape portal, then death in this mode is pretty rough, because you're going to need to spend tokens to revive them, or you just need to re-roll them and start from scratch again and hope that you get a good roll. So here we are like dying and not doing well.
And in the bottom corner where I've got my squad, each of them has a health bar. Does the health continue between battles, or so it's persistent across the full length of the run?
And it's persistent even after the run too. So when you return from a hunt, like we're doing here, you're going to come back and you're going to have the same health and the same, if you're dead, then you're dead and you can't go on a hunt again. So your choice is you can go to the inn to heal and revive, or you could go to the barracks and just re-roll that dead character to get a new one, just basically replace that with a new level 1 mercenary. And again, hope that your role takes. So the dojo is where you promote your characters to different classes. So right now we have the second tier of classes that's unlocked, with other ones coming soon. And all of these cost Muchi tokens based on your level. So the higher you would level up the characters, the lower the cost would be for you to do that. And then it's just your choice of, do you want to grind to level them up, but it's harder, or promote them early so that you have that extra support. And that archer was promoted to a cleric that's able to heal all of your characters, equip staff, and that's super helpful to try to survive any of those dragons or bosses.
And that dojo is part of the adventure map, not something in the town.
Correct. Yeah. So that's something that you can only find when you're going on a hunt. So that's within those 3 different options. The middle path is randomized. So that could be a boss or a like dragon battle, or a treasure, or a merchant where you can buy a bunch of equipment and items, or a dojo, or a healing spring. And the healing spring is super important if you have a character that's died, and you're allowed to revive one character at the healing spring as well. And then the third path option is the unknown path. So you click that and it could be any of those other path options, and you don't know until you get there.
Okay.
So we have this little red panda character called Moochkin.
Mm-hmm.
And you can buy from Moochkin the escape portal that's going to make sure that if you're getting slaughtered by a dragon, you can get out with everyone dying, without everyone dying. But then you can also buy a device called a retractkin, which makes equipment persist playthrough after playthrough. So that's where you have this element of just kind of building your loot and building your stats on the characters, and doing all those different pieces, trying to find the best way to get as far as possible and as strong as possible.
And you were saying that there's bosses at level 10, level 20. Does that continue? Is there an end? How do I end?
So there are 51 rounds in this hunt mode for the alpha demo, which, it's crazy. But in our 20 round story mode alpha demo, we had people play more than 100 hours and completely max out their hero and just get through that. So I'm like, we got to throw as much as possible at these guys. They're intense. So it'll be very interesting to see how far people go in this hunt mode invite. And then there's a lot that we have planned in terms of extra content as we continue to build out, because this is just for this hunt mode alpha. That's really testing out this loop, and then it's going to go to the beta that is the fully Web3 integrated mode that we expect people to really outshine what they've done before. But they've already spent like so much time in the different tournaments that we've done already. It's pretty crazy. Like whenever we come out with a new release of our alpha demo, we have someone who writes back like 14 hours later, I've just played it for the last 13 hours. We're like, these things take time. We work so hard. And then but that's great because people are loving it.
And you were saying it's the alpha is a closed alpha, or how are people kind of playing it? Is it select community?
Yeah. So for the first hunt mode alpha, that's closed, and it's from the top 200 players in a tournament that we did back in December. And then we did an extra tournament. Was it last month? I don't know what time is anymore. But we have about 250 people who have invites to this closed alpha. And then once we run through that, then we'll probably open it up to get more people in, get more feedback as we continue to tweak and polish. And then we would open it up, obviously, we have a lot of a lot of exciting things planned as we lead up to the actual mint and then the launch of the Web3 enabled version of it, which I call it our hunt mode beta, where it's actually with Web3 all implemented and everything ready to go.
Sounds very exciting.
Yeah, there's lots going on.
So thanks for showing us through the demo. I'm excited to give it a try. This person seems to be doing quite well. They've got through the last bit without taking too much damage. But if people want to find out more, where's the best place to follow you and keep up to date?
Yes, they can follow us on Twitter at Faenoraverse. That's Faenor verse or Nora verse. And they can play the demo on Steam. They could play it on faenora.world, and they can check out our website, www.faenoraverse.com. For people who have that hunt mode alpha invite, they're going to be able to play this very soon. For people who don't, there are a lot of streamers who do. And we have a pretty passionate community of streamers and creators who have been super engaged with us. And so I'm sure that they'll be doing a ton of streaming when we have this hunt mode tournament up as well. So lots of opportunity to see what we're up to.
Oh, it's been great hearing more and great seeing games that are playable right now.
Totally.
Cheers.
Thanks.